Top 10, we review this season's best plays.
Sunshine in service. Winning games was just icing on the cake for the baseball team's sweet trip.
Hawaii bound, we'll talk about how our football team is preparing for battle against the Warriors. I'm Brianna Carr.
And I'm Brooke Davis. It's time for the Tube. Weekend was rivalry weekend. I watched football all day long, but I really missed that BYU-Utah matchup. It just wasn't the same for me.
I know, me too. And now our last game is Hawaii. I saw pictures of Romney Fuga on the beach. JD Falslev went scuba diving. I think they're still pretty happy with that last win.
Absolutely. Turkey Day has come and gone, and though you may have forgotten the New Mexico State game, we're here to remind you. After a forced fumble, Brian Correa from the 4-yard line over the pack and in put the Cougars on the board. 2 drives later, heaps to Oppo, and number 11 does the rest. Looks familiar. The defense took a piece of the pie too. Kyle Van Noy, wearing Jordan Pendleton's jersey, throws the hammer down with the sack and fist pump after. This kid was all over the field, and the defense held New Mexico State to 7 total points. Senior night, a 42-7 victory, and the emotional post-game embraces made this night a night to remember.
The Cougars will travel to the Lone Star State again. Hopefully 3rd time's the charm, and they'll come home with a victory. After a lot of speculation, the team accepted an invitation to play in the 2011 Bell Helicopter Armed Forces Bowl in Dallas. The Cougars are scheduled to meet a Conference USA team on December 30th at noon at SMU's Gerald J. Ford Stadium. The football team is prepping in Hawaii, but they need to focus on more than just sunscreen and sand. The Cougars take on the Hawaii Warriors tomorrow night. And CougTube reporter Brittany Good has the inside take on the game. What should we expect tomorrow?
Well, if the Cougs show up tomorrow and play like we know they can, they should have no problem fighting off the Warriors. But there are a few key players from Hawaii that they need to watch for.
The Warriors like to pass the ball, and they're good at it. 10th overall in the nation in passing yards. Their receiver to watch wearing black and green is number 81, Royce Pollard. Pollard has scored 8 touchdowns this season and has outgained BYU's Cody Hoffman by 265 yards.
It's a touchdown! Yes!
BYU's defense needs to be prepared to shut down Hawaii's passing game and keep Pollard out of the end zone. That being said, the Warriors have lost their star quarterback, Bryant Moniz, and have had to make some adjustments late in their season. Tomorrow, they could start either David Graves or Shane Austin at QB. Graves has a solid passing game. He threw for 260 yards against Tulane last week, but he also shakes things up a little bit. His style of play reminds me a lot of Riley Nelson because he's quick on his feet and can also run the ball. The Cougars need to be ready for him to throw and run. As for BYU, the key will be execution, getting the ball to the playmakers, Cody Hoffman and JJ DeLuigi. We all know that Hoffman has had an outstanding season, and 2 weeks ago, DeLuigi ran for 75 yards against New Mexico State. If the Cougars come into this game focused and execute well, then I think they'll come away from Aloha Stadium with a win. This is the first time since 2002 the teams have faced off, and 9 years ago they were 2 completely different teams. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all goes down tomorrow.
I wish I was in Hawaii, or at least out of this cold.
Me too.
Thanks for...
It's like week 5 all over again, and Cougar fans everywhere are wondering who's going to be throwing the ball in tomorrow's game. Trainers cleared quarterback Riley Nelson to travel to Hawaii, but so far that's about it.
We're going to prepare both quarterbacks all the way through the week. And then hopefully as more information comes from the medical staff, the more we'll know.
Nelson had a chest x-ray earlier this week, but if he doesn't take the field, he may not be the only one missing out there.
Check the surf report and it's supposed to be good, so if I'm not there at the game, then you'll know what's happened.
Hopefully the Cougs don't have too much fun in the sun and bring home the win. There's still 2 gridiron games left for the Cougars, but since this is the last CougTube of the season, we're taking a look at some of the most memorable moments up to this point. Here's CougTube reporter Sean Gordon's Top 10 of 2011.
Starting things off at number 10 is the first touchdown of independence for the Cougars, a 19-yard strike from Jake Heaps to Ross Oppo. Number 9 gets defensive with Daniel Sorensen's 30-yard pick six late in a blowout win against Idaho State. We'll see Sorensen a bit later, too. At 8 is a pinpoint throw from Heaps to a diving Oppo over the middle against Texas. Sorensen's back at number 7, playing a little pinball before picking off an errant Texas throw. This two-point conversion by Riley Nelson late in the TCU game is impressive, but number 6 is the high five he gave the ref afterward. Hey, his hand was clearly up. Number 5 is a first in 5 years. J.D. Foslev took this punt to the house against the Horned Frogs, the first punt return TD since McKay Jacobson in 2006. Think 5 years is a long time? Cody Hoffman finds the seam for a 93-yard TD on this kickoff, making that the first kickoff touchdown in 13 years for the Cougars. He doesn't just return kicks, though, he catches the ball, too. This one starts the top 3 off in style. This impressive grab by Hoffman against Oregon State is a finalist for Geico's Play of the Year. What beats a Play of the Year finalist? How about a game winner, as Kyle Van Noy sacks Ole Miss quarterback Zach Stout, then takes the fumble in for a TD, giving BYU their first win of the season. But the immaculate deflection takes the top spot of the year. A mixture of luck and timing by Marcus Matthews not only saved the game for the Cougars, but possibly the season as well.
And who knows, maybe we'll have a few plays in Hawaii or in the bowl game that will end up on that list too. Brianna, those were all so good.
So good.
Top 10 for sure.
My favorite's Kyle Van Noy, but that's just my personal favorite. When CougTube returns, rocky road. Men's basketball struggles in the Windy City, but heats up in Arizona.
Dominican Detour. The baseball team traveled to warmer climates to deliver some holiday cheer. Stay with us.
The Cougars bounced back from their loss from Wisconsin by slaughtering Northern Arizona Wednesday night during the Lumberjack Classic in Arizona. Last Saturday, the Cougs took on the Badgers in the last game of the Chicago Invitational, hoping to win but couldn't quite compete. Brandon Davies contributed 9 points, including this steal, running it to the basket for a dunk. DeMarcus Harrison made his contribution with this shot behind the arc. It's tied up the game for the Cougs. Despite the hustle, BYU couldn't quite keep up with the 13 three-pointers the Badgers served up hot to the Cougars all night long. Badgers won 73-56. Wednesday night proved to be better for the Cougs in Arizona, facing the Lumberjacks with ease. Brock Zylstra was on fire all night long, starting with this shot. He led the Cougars with a career-best 23 points and a career high of 5 threes. Charles Bua helped him out here by giving him an open run to a basket with a layup. BYU's offensive playing was no match for Northern Arizona, and they couldn't ever really catch up. Brandon Davies made this contribution to the game with a double-double, 14 points and 9 rebounds to seal the deal with an 87-52 victory. He could be a point guard, he could be a shooting guard, but whatever he is, it's safe to say that Brock Zylstra can definitely shoot the ball. Zylstra was lights out against Northern Arizona on Wednesday, hitting his first 5 shots of the game and recording 15 points in the first half. He finished with a career best 5 out of 6 from the three-point line and a career high of 23 points on the night.
Well, Chris Collinsworth is becoming the basketball version of Jordan Pendleton. Tremendous talents, but lots of injuries. Coach Dave Rose announced that Collinsworth still has a bruise inside the repaired knee that benched him last season, and he might not be on the floor for tomorrow's game against Oregon. But Collinsworth's knee picked a good time to stop the 6'9" forward. Last week, the Cougars won easily, 87-52. The Oregon Ducks are coming to town, but not to P-Town. The Cougs will take on this Pac-12 team at Energy Solutions Arena in Salt Lake City on Saturday afternoon. BYU tallied a 5-2 record so far this season, and the Ducks are 4-1. The last time these two teams met was in 1998, and Oregon stole the show with a 93-62 victory.
While most people spent their Thanksgiving break eating turkey and watching plenty of football, the BYU baseball team spent 7 days in the Dominican Republic playing a little hardball and doing a lot of service. CougTube reporter Christina Silly got an exclusive look at the team's sabbatical.
The team got to experience a whole new brand of baseball playing in the unofficial baseball capital of the world, but they shine brightest away from the diamond.
In addition to winning all 4 of their games against instructional league teams from the Yankees, Red Sox, Rangers, and Royals, the BYU baseball team hit all the bases, helping out with humanitarian aid.
5 Star Legacy Foundation is also doing some work in the Dominican Republic, and 5 Star Legacy loves to support BYU baseball, and so all of us together are just pulling all of our forces together, going to the Dominican Republic to give some baseball equipment, some hygiene kits.
They assembled thousands of the kits and packed up bats, gloves, shoes, helmets, baseballs, and more.
We got about 40 to 50 bags of equipment, and we collected it from different people around here, and we took that down there for different clinics and orphanages.
But what made even more of an impact is the time they spent getting to know the kids.
That's what they loved the most, especially in the orphanage. They just loved just being able to have that one-on-one time.
They also delivered school supplies and held a baseball clinic for over 200 local kids.
We went and did a big baseball clinic in Igwe where we gave out 25 bags of equipment to all the Little League facilities, Little League teams down there, so they could be able to have equipment to use, because most of the kids either didn't have gloves, shoes, or bats.
And what was most appreciated is that the equipment delivery came with some personalized instruction.
And so it wasn't so much the stuff that we brought, but it was able to just be our presence and be able to spend time with them.
The team did a lot more while they were there. They took food and hygiene kits to a village that needed them. Their bus got stuck in the mud traveling between 2 cities, and a swarm of killer bees stopped the action when they flew right through the middle of the diamond in the Cougars game against the Rangers. Back to you.
For more information on Christine's story or pictures from the baseball team, go to our website 11news.byu.edu under the CougTube section. When we come back, Super Scholars. Find out why the rugby team is missing the U.S. Sevens tournament.
Facing finals, juggling end-of-semester projects and games is the true test of a student athlete. We'll be right back. The BYU men's basketball team also traded the windy Provo weather for the sandy beaches of Laie, Hawaii this week. The Lady Cougars snagged an 82-73 victory against Arizona on Thursday in the team's second matchup of the Hukilau Invitational. BYU hopes to continue their winning ways tomorrow as they take on the highly ranked Syracuse Orange.
The BYU men's rugby team qualified for the USA Rugby Sevens tournament this year, but guess what? They're not going. CougTube reporter Devin Dewey met up with the team to find out why.
No, it's not because it's on Sunday. It's because the athletes are students first and need to focus on school.
The tournament will be held the same week as BYU's finals week. The team would rather play rugby than take tests, but they do realize the importance of their education.
Academics come first, and some things are more important, and so that was the case in this time, but we'll have another opportunity in the future, so we'll look forward to it.
The BYU administration and rugby organization agree that education is more important than a sports championship.
We got to take our academics first, be student athletes, and make sure we take care of our futures. Not all of us are going to play rugby forever, so we got to make sure we have a plan for life and make sure we're putting that first before rugby.
The Fearless team is no stranger to these championships. In 2009, they were the national champions and got a nice trophy for their hard work.
Unfortunately, this year we won't be able to go, but hopefully we will be able to in the future.
For now, the team will do all their scrumming in the testing center and then get ready for their 2012 season, which starts in January. At BYU campus, Devin Dewey, CougTube.
The team was undefeated for the Mountain Sevens, so there's a good chance that they'll earn another invite to the next tournament. Brooke?
Thanks, Devin. With the end of the semester approaching, BYU students are starting to feel the pressure of projects, studying, and final exams. Sounds stressful? Try adding hours of practice, film, and travel to that list. CougTube reporter Blake Tillotson defines what it means to be a student athlete.
Faithful fans rarely see BYU athletes out of their element. That means dunking, kicking, throwing, and spiking. But what about when they put down the ball and pick up the pencil? Offensive lineman Braden Hansen is one of many student athletes with a lot on their plate during this time of year.
Homework, reading, projects that I have to do. Taking off for Hawaii tomorrow, so I'll be gone for the rest of the week, and then we have 2 weeks until finals.
With all the time student athletes spend on the road missing class, it's only fair they receive a little special treatment. Take, for example, the Student Athlete Academic Center, offering students a quiet place to study and personal tutors ready to help.
They definitely offer us tutors, but you have to be able to take advantage of that and find time to meet with tutors, because we're at football from basically 1:30 to 6 every day, which is almost like a full-time job.
But it's not just football. Over the next 2 weeks, the men's basketball team has 2 road trips.
Yeah, well, this is a real challenging time, the end of any semester, but especially, one where you're involved with a real heavy playing schedule.
And if that isn't enough to keep athletes busy, why not add a newborn baby to the mix? In Provo, Blake Tillotson, Coug Tube.
Fortunately for Cougar athletes, administrators make a conscious effort to schedule mostly home games this close to the end of the semester. You should probably know the names of Jennifer Hampson and Christy Carpenter. They were just named to this year's All-West Coast Conference team for their killer volleyball skills. Hampson leads the conference in kills, and Carpenter is the only starting senior with almost 2 digs per set in league play. The girls helped BYU tie St. Mary's for 3rd place in the conference.
If you haven't heard of the West Coast Conference's Commissioner's Cup, it's okay, neither have we. It's an award that goes to the WCC school with the most conference wins across all men's and women's sports. And so far, BYU's sitting pretty on top. We're the newcomers to the conference, but we've got a slight lead on San Diego for the coveted cup. We can thank our men's and women's cross-country teams for the extra 0.5. The top schools are pretty close, so we can't get too cozy. Conference officials say this is the tightest race in years. Christmas is 23 days away, but BYU athletes want to make those first 12 extra special for less fortunate families. They're dropping off gifts on their doorsteps every day for the 12 days starting this week. You can help the Cougars help others by donating money, toys, food, coats, gift cards, and clothing to room 374 of the Student Athlete Building.
It was a good run for our cross-country team, no pun intended, at the NCAA National Meet in Indiana. The men finished 4th in the nation. Junior Rex Shields and senior Miles Batty both finished in the top 25 to become All-Americans. The women finished 28th overall thanks to senior Morgan Haas. She placed 14th overall to earn her own All-American status.
When Coug Tube comes back, predictions are over and you won't believe who won. Seriously.
And while our Cougars are kicking back in warm and sunny beaches, we're bundling up against gusty winds and frigid temperatures. I'll tell you just how cold it'll get this weekend when 11 Game Time weather returns.
I've got to say, Chantal, I'm kind of okay with the dry, cold weather. As long as it's not snowing down here, keep it up in the mountains, that's fine with me.
As long as the sun's out, the cold's bearable, I think.
I think so too, but you know what? The sun's actually not going to be out here for very long over the weekend. That's kind of a bummer. And looking outside right now, well, the sun is kind of peeking through those clouds coming in, looking pretty nice. It's not even hazy outside right now, which is the good news from that storm yesterday that we had. Bad news, there's so much damage going on right now. And if you go outside today, well, it's a little bit cold. It is currently about 34 degrees. We're only going to be hitting about the mid-40s for today, and we do have calm wind speeds, like I said. Yesterday we had all those easterly winds blowing through the state. It was nuts. In Centerville, you guys had wind speeds up to 103 miles per hour. But we do have another storm rolling through for the weekend, and we will be seeing some winds still with that. And mostly with this storm, we're not going to get a whole lot of accumulation, but it's mostly just going to be cold temperatures. So low of 22 tonight as that storm starts rolling through. We will be seeing gusts up to 30 miles per hour. I think here in Provo, we're not going to see it that bad, but definitely farther north in the Wasatch Front, you will be seeing those gusts. And of course, a couple snow flurries. Central Utah and even southern Utah has a better chance of seeing snow more than we do up here. Now, for our Cougars, well, with all the cold temperatures and the wind, I really wish I was down with them right now. The game starts at 5:30 against Hawaii, and it will be a little bit cloudy for them, but look at their temperature, 75 degrees. Brooke and Brianna, I say let's just go on an airplane, just go over there, and I love that temperature. It just seems so nice. Maybe I'll do it after my baby's born. But looking at our sat map right now, here's our cold front moving here. This is the front of the storm, and it's just going to be pushing through tonight, tomorrow. It's going to be fast moving, and that's why we're not going to have a whole lot of accumulation. But you see that there's this huge empty spot, and that's just cold Arctic air that'll be moving through the state, and it's going to be staying with us for the next several days. Now, you guys in southern Utah, you guys are also going to be seeing cold temperatures as well. So 54 degrees for you guys in St. George. Sunny skies, but those clouds will start moving in tonight. You'll have a 20% chance of snow. And look at you guys. You guys even go down to 49 degrees for the rest of the week, actually. You guys are even hitting 24 degrees as a low. So, you know, if it's cold down in St. George and other parts of southern Utah, you know it's going to be cold up in here. And for northern Utah, like I said before, we'll be hitting about 45 degrees, going down to about 36, 35 tomorrow, 30% chance of snow. And and look at this, cold temperatures 16. So Brooke and Brianna, just make sure you guys are bundling up this weekend. Back to you.
After a battle of gridiron expert minds each week, we're finally ready to present the stuffed cougar to the winner. Let's take a look at the final standings, and trust me when I say I'm less than excited to announce this. But I did not take first place in predictions. Sadly, I didn't even take second. I know it's hard to believe, but we have a tie for first place between Brooke and the reporters. Both ended up with a 17-5 record. I'm finishing in third with 13-9, and Chantel has maintained her spot in last place, 8-14. Ouch. Looks like Brooke and the reporters will have to fight for the stuffed cougar. This calls for rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, rock, paper,
Who wants
scissors,
it?
ready?
Let's
Who
do
wants
this.
it? On shoot, ready?
Win at this every
Okay.
time.
Cosmo's
Rock,
judging.
paper, scissors, shoot.
Brooke won the cougar. Congratulations,
Thank
reporters.
Thank you.
You all
I'm
came
sorry
up here for
to all
nothing.
you reporters. It was fun.
You chose well, Brooke.
I felt it.
How did you know?
I felt it. It was good.
I think it's because I always chose BYU. It's because I love BYU too much.
Is that what you got?
Is it a crime? That's Coug 2 for Friday, December 2nd.
If you want another look at the stories we did today or to share with your friends, check out the CougTube section of our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great afternoon. From all of us at Coug 2, go Cougs.